Welcome to my presentation on how we can have more equitable business communication to make our organization more ethical. So let's start with what communication is. It's essentially how we're going to get an idea or message from one person to another person through some type of channel. We'll actually be discussing digital communication at some point in this presentation, but let's just go into how this can be more effective through equity. Essentially, if you're trying to communicate equitably, you want to make sure that everything is very clear for the listener to understand. You have to adapt to their needs and consider what they need so that you can both move forward from a place of knowledge and support the organization's ethical goals and mission. We can make this communication even more ethical by building trust between communicators, including from leadership and between team members. You want to remember that honesty is always the best policy, even when you're trying to avoid bad news or avoid a certain topic. You want to tell the full truth. Transparency, respect, honesty, all those things are really tied together and ensure equitable communication and ethical communication. But how does this relate to what is really the most common type of communication, digital communication? I believe that if we have an organization-wide style guide, we'll be able to control how the communication is expected for all of these different types and removes ambiguity for employees who may come from different backgrounds or who have different neurological or linguistical backgrounds and levels. And basically, we're going to allow those people to be judged based on their work in the company instead of. This is an example from the Good Things Foundation, where they're already making their communication more ethical by incorporating these rules through their own style guide. The most important thing we need to consider is being respectful of cultural and national differences, especially when it comes to international business. We need to consider how everyone comes from a different background, whether or not you're aware of that or not. And by learning about different backgrounds that we're expecting to come into contact with and adapting our communication, we can ensure that our communication is sending its information the way that we intended it to be received, and that we don't have this unintentional miscommunication. Our goal as an ethical organization should be to go above and beyond cultural sensitivity and really strive for cultural competence, where we respond effectively to diverse political, social, and cultural contexts. What does this mean in terms of leadership and our team communication? I believe that the teamwork is the heart of an ethical organization, and if we can ensure that our team is able to communicate well at an equitable level, they will be able to ensure that our organization remains ethical and a wonderful place to work. We also cannot forget the importance of leadership in furthering the organization's ethical vision, modeling that integrity, and supporting and promoting diversity amongst their teams. In short, if you can make your communication more equitable, you can help us build a more ethical organization.